Hello, hello. Happy Thursday, everyone. We're almost there, almost to the weekend, right? We're getting there. I'm going to jump right into today's training. Usually, I give you guys a couple of minutes to kind of jump in um, and join me, but as you know, I'm not feeling great. So I want to get through this while I still have energy and so I can show up 100% for you guys. So if you guys are new here, if you don't know me, I am Bree Beers. I am the owner of Bree Beers and Associates, an accounting firm here in Denver, Colorado, and I'm also the founder of Peak Prosperity CFO. We're a fractional CFO company, and we work with seven-figure businesses whose owners are feeling kind of stuck and wanting more work-life balance, and they want more money in their bank account. So today, how many of you guys have ever felt like you've been overworked and underpaid at some point in your entrepreneurial journey? Raise your hand, right? It's all of us, right? It's all of us. It's a matter, though, of whether you still feel that overworkedness and underpaid, and you're still being underpaid, or if you've found the solution to working less and paying yourself more, right? But all of us, at some point on that journey, whether we're still there or we've passed it, right, and we figured it out, we've all at some point felt overworked and underpaid. That's part of this dang journey, right? And with my women-owned business owners, it's even more of a case for you guys because our businesses make even less statistically, right? Only 1 in 5 firms that have revenue over $1 million is women-owned, right? So that's 20% of $1 million businesses are women-owned. And of all the female business owners or female business-owned firms in the country, 4.2% of them hit the $1 million mark. All right, and that's just talking about revenue, right? If you're not new to joining me, you know that there's a lot of pieces that we measure and we talk about when we talk about the success of a business. We're just talking revenue there, right? So $1 million businesses, 4.2% of all women-owned businesses are actually $1 million businesses. What? Right? So we understand, right? And because the thing is, whether you're a 5, 6, 7-figure business, if your business isn't making money, there's not going to be money to pay yourself, right? There has to be money. So for me, you guys, I bought Bree Beers and Associates in 2017. And even before that, so before I bought it, I worked for the prior owner, and I was working so much because I knew, right? I mean, I knew that my goal was to take over the firm. So I was trying to learn as much as I could, also learning, the tax and accounting part of things. And so I was working, minimum of 50 hours when it wasn't tax season, right? Because when it wasn't tax season, there was things to learn, there was education to be had, there was learning how to run a business, which I still am figuring that out, right? But I was working minimum of 50 hours a week. Tax season, even more. It's like, I think back to those days and I would get up, 5:30, and I would just get myself ready and go to the office. So I'd be to the office by between 6 and 6:30. And I would not leave there until at least 6 or 6:30 at night. And I did not take breaks. I ate lunch at my desk. I did not take breaks. I am so looking back and thinking about that, like, gives me anxiety, right? Because I'm like, oh my God, because now I am, doing my morning routine of self-care. I am working out every day. Like, I take care of myself first before I even think about work. But we've all been there, right? Whether you're there now or you've been there, working a crap ton, and then also like not paying yourself or not paying yourself enough. Whether it's you're not taking home a paycheck at all, or you're not taking money out of your business at all, or you're taking out, a little bit, but it's not enough to live on, right? That's a huge motivator, you guys. Because for the longest time, I was there, right? I'd have to skip my own payroll to pay my employees and pay all my bills and to make sure everyone else got paid. So I would skip my own payroll, or I would be paying myself, like $1,000. And it's just like we can't live off $12,000 a year, right? So I wasn't paying myself enough, or I wasn't paying myself at all. And when you do that for long enough, you really do, there becomes a disconnect between, the running your business and the joy and the fulfillment that running that business and starting that business is supposed to bring to you. And, there's just that disconnect because you're not getting anything out of it, right? You're showing up, you're working 10, 50, 60 hours a work week, right? And you're doing it to serve your clients, which is great, right? When we start a business, a lot of times it's to serve our clientele or to provide a product or good to other people, right? Like that's part of why we start a job, is to share our talent with others, right? That is part of it, but it can't be all of it. Right? It can't be all of it. We're doing it to serve the people. We're also, if you have any employees, you're doing it, you're working and you're keeping your doors open to take care of them. But we all start our business with one of two goals in mind, or both, right? It's to create freedom for ourselves, to work when we want or where we want or how much we want, and to break through that glass ceiling of how much we can actually bring home as an employee, versus working for someone else in corporate America. And so when you're not paying yourself and you're overworking, it's really easy to lose the passion for your business. And also, when you think about it, it becomes a really expensive hobby that you're forced to do. Hobbies are fun. They're things you do when you have spare time, or like things you like doing. But when you're going and you have to go to work because you have bills to pay in the business, you have employees to pay, you have clients to serve, but you're not getting anything out of it, and you're showing up every day for 10, 12 hours a day, like, man, like burn out, like right around the corner, right? So I was there. All right. So then what I've done to migrate from there is essentially what I did is lots of coaching, right? Lots of personal coaching, business coaching, lots of personal development, business development. But I introduced a concept into the concept of creating your business, or transforming your business into a vehicle that you use to achieve your dreams, your personal dreams. So I've really focused on that connection of your business supporting your personal goals and dreams. So the first thing I did is on my side is I figured out how much I need to bring home. Like, how much money do I need to actually bring home from my business to support my current lifestyle? And excuse me, if you will look in the comments above or below, depending on where you're watching this, there is a link to my freebie. It's called Measuring Your Motivation. I'm going to circle back around to it at the end. But when you think back to why you started your business, right? And we connect that to our why. And that's what we're going to talk about today. The W in the wealth model is why. What is your motivation? It's not why. It's what is your motivation? All right. So circling our business goals around back to our personal goals. And we've done that with our clients as well, right? I've done it in my business. I've implemented this model into my own business. We've done it with our CFO clients, and we have one client who bought a house this year because we were able to, make sure that like our business goals that we set for this client supported them being able to buy a house, meaning putting down a huge down payment and increase their payments on their monthly, mortgage payments. We have another client who's buying a lake house, and so we're funding that. And so when you're able to connect your business goals to your personal goals, it's a driver it just helps. It helps drive your purpose and your why. All right. And when we think about, right, this old world versus new world mindset, right? And we've always, like I said, I started out, right, telling the story of, working 50, 60, 70, 80 hours a week, that, you work, it's like work harder, you'll succeed, right? Work harder, you'll succeed. And just work, right? And we were there, we say old world, but we were there. Some of us are still there, right? It's not old world for all of us. Some of us are like, I just need to work more. I just need to work harder. But we are now seeing this shift, right? This paradigm shift into making sure you're taking care of your mental health, your personal satisfaction, and all of those things, taking care of your health, taking care of your, what makes you happy, right? Whether that's with self-care, with exercise, having family time, whatever that looks like to you, but taking care, it's the whole filling your cup first so you can fill the others. That's going to build your business success. All right. So really going from like, it's not working more and working harder, it's working smarter and working on our business after we're making sure we're taking care of ourselves. All right. So If you have downloaded I point up and down because depending on where you're watching this, the links are above or below you. But this worksheet on measuring your motivation is what we're going to talk about today. All right. Because in order for you to really set your business goals, right? To create business goals that support you as a person and your personal dreams, hopes, aspirations. The first part of that is funding it, right? We talk about two things. It's bringing home more money and finding that work-life balance, right? Well, this worksheet tells you how much you need to be taking home from your business in order to fund your personal hopes, dreams, life aspirations, and goals. So it's a very cool worksheet. It's thank you. I have a VA who made it pretty. That is not my jam. I can put in formulas into Excel. I can give you guys instructions, but making it pretty and branding it is not my jam. So shout out to Danielle who made it pretty for you guys. And what you'll see, let me open mine. If you're walking through this, if you don't have it, let's see if I can. I don't want to spend a ton of time on this worksheet. I just kind of want to I'm super excited to make this for you guys and have this tool out there for you. So I just want to give you kind of an overview, except for I closed it. Seems right. If you guys aren't new with me, you know that I tend to either not open everything I need or I close things because I wouldn't, the whole too many tab things open, right? Too many tabs open, got to close some. Okay. Where is my, there we go. So we go into freebies. There it is. Okay. So I broke it down into 4 steps, you guys. And so first you want to do, whether you have the spreadsheet or not, I'm going to walk you through this because this is how you figure out how much your business needs to make in order to how much you have to bring home from your business into your personal bank account, into your pockets in order to fund your current lifestyle, your dream lifestyle, and your ideal lifestyles, right? So there has to be a dollar sign that you have to monetize that because then what you can do, the cool thing about that is if you decide, okay, I got to bring home $10,000 a month, then you can build that into your business plan and figure out from there. And we'll talk about that next week in the evaluate your business goals. You can change your business goals to support your personal goals. But today is all about what's your motivation. So the first part is the financial piece to that. All right. So the first thing you guys got to do is figure out how much you're actually taking home right now. All right. And again, the measuring your motivation worksheet does that. If you have not downloaded it, please do. It's free. So the first thing you have to do is figure out how much you're actually taking home, right? And that comes from one of 2 places or a combination of 2 places. If you are a W-2 employee within your S Corp or your C Corp, then you have your net W-2 wages. Now this is different. A lot of times I have a $60,000 salary, right? I don't care about your salary because taxes are in there, payroll taxes, employment taxes. I want to know how much money is actually coming from your business bank account to your personal bank account. Right? So what is your net take-home pay from your W-2 wages? All right, so you got to figure that out. And then how much are you taking out in draws and distributions? And for some of you, if you're a partnership, you would have guaranteed payments instead of W-2 wages, but it's all the money that's actually hitting your personal bank account from your business. What is that amount? All right, and that worksheet walks you through that. So now you have that amount. Let's say I add that all up and I am taking home $5,000 a month. That's amazing, right? I am actually taking home $5,000 a month. I have my wages, my net wages coming home and my draws. All right. So then I got to figure out, well, what do I cost to live right now? Right. And some of you are really good at your personal budgets, right? You can tell me yep, we spend $11,000 a month with home, transportation, eating out, shopping, kids activities, travel, all the things, right? You can tell me exactly how much your monthly budget is. Okay. Some of you cannot. That's me. I need my spreadsheet because I do. All right. So that's another piece to the measuring your motivation worksheet that I provided with you. Step 2 is figure out what your current budget is, your current personal budget. And then the worksheet will do the magic for you. It's going to compare those numbers of what you're actually taking home compared to what you need to be taking home. It's cool because you can actually put in, if there's other income that you have. So let's say you have a W-2 job outside of your business, or your spouse has income, right? So you can take that out so you can actually figure out what you need to bringing home from your business, all right, to fund your current living lifestyle, your current lifestyle, right? And then there's similar steps for your short-term budget and your long-term budget. So to me, so your current budget is, what am I spending right now? Like what goes out the door right now? And my short-term budget is like, okay, because your current budget is usually you living within your means, right? Like you're like, okay, we're not spending as much and we'd like to go out more. We just can't because we can't afford it. Or maybe you're wanting to buy a new house like as soon as possible because you've outgrown it, but you can't afford it, right? So that's a short-term budget. What is it you want to do in the next year that if you had the money coming in, you'd do it, right? So that's what the step 3 in that worksheet will do for you. And then step 4 is your long-term budget. It's like 10 years down the road, your dream budget. I call that my dream budget. Like if I could travel as much as I want to do, what would that look like? Right? If I could go to the spa once a week, what would that cost me? All right. So you can play with this worksheet and kind of adjust those numbers. And at the very end, at the bottom, it's always going to tell you what you need to be taking home to live that lifestyle versus what you currently take home from your business. And it gives you that difference. Okay, well, that's how much more you need to make, right? That's how much I need to increase my take home pay by. All right, oops, I made this too big. All right, so, so that's part of finding out your why, right? Is the financial piece. What is your motivation financially for having your business? And it's not just like, I want to buy a bigger house. I want to travel more. It's putting the numbers into place so that you can then, and we'll talk about this next week, backfill that into your business budget. All right. It's very cool. And a lot of us don't do it this way, right? We even though we know that our business and our personal life and our personal money are very intertwined, we want to treat them separately. And we're trained to do that, right? Like don't intermingle your funds. That's great. But you should be intermingling your goals, right? And how we set those goals. So the first part is figure out how much money you need to be taking home from your business. All right. And your current lifestyle, your ideal lifestyle, that's like 1 year or less, and your dream lifestyle, 5-10 years down the road. So you figure out those 3 things. And that's your financial motivation. That is your financial motivation for running your business. All right. So when we think about how a lot of us are doing it, and this was me up until not even a year ago, right? I would set my business goals. They would be arbitrary, right? I'd be like, I want to make $1 million, right? Or I want to increase my profits by 5%, whatever that is. But I didn't then figure out, okay, if that's my goal, what does that mean for me personally? What does that mean I'm able to take home and put into my personal bank account? And if you flip that thinking, right, and you instead set your personal financial goals and then backfill those into your business, a lot of things happen. All right. First of all, there's purpose behind your business goals, right? It's not just, I want to see an increase. I want more money. It's like, we're going to hit these new revenue goals because when we do, we get to travel to Europe twice next year, right? Or these goals represent the house we want to buy next year. All right. So you're able to make that connection between your business's failure and success and what it's doing with what you want to do personally. All right. And that's so important. Circle back to what I talked about at the beginning, right? That when our business becomes so disconnected from us personally, we lose a lot of that motivation. All right. And that can happen in a variety of ways, right? That can happen by just setting business goals that have nothing to do with us. That can happen with us just being overworked in our business, not paying ourselves at all, or not paying ourselves paying ourselves very little, right? There becomes this disconnect of why we do what we do, right? Because we can only run a business for our clients and to support our employees for so long before that burns us out. Okay, there has to be some personal motivation there, right? And so creating this financial connection is one piece of that. All right. It's one piece of that. So, another thing, you guys, so we talked about the financial piece, but the other side to that of the what's your motivation, right, comes to, again, the clients, right? What is it we're wanting to do with this transformation with our clients? That's another piece of it, right? That we want to make sure we're paying attention to. The other big piece of what is your motivation is what do you want your business, your relationship with the business to look like? Do you want to be working 50 hours a week in your business? Most of us, the answer is no. Some of us, I have clients who they want, that is, they're used to working, that is what they do. And so they're like, I don't want to cut back my hours. I just want more money from it. And that's fine. I know there's some of you out there that are like that. And there's nothing wrong with that. All right. But a lot of us, that's not it. We created this business, we created our businesses in order to give us this work-life balance. And so many of us aren't living that, right? We are living, breathing, eating, drinking, sleeping, living our business. And that is going to wear us down. So the other piece of what your motivation, is what, did you create your business for some work-life balance? And what does that look like, right? Because work-life balance to all of us is something different, okay? Every one of us has a different definition of that. For some of us, it could be like, I want to work 50 hours, but I want to do it, at night when my kids are asleep, and before they go to bed, right? I don't mind working. I just need the flexibility to work not 9 to 5, right? Some of us are like, no, I want to work. I only want to work when my kids are at school. That's me. Like, I want to take care of myself, drop the kids off, work, and be done when my kids get home. Like, that is my goal, right? That is my goal. And so I got to figure out, like, what does that look like? Well, by the time I drop them off and I do all these other things, like that's working 35 hours a week. That's my goal. My goal is to work 35 hours a week and be present with my family, but also keep taking care of myself, right? So what is your motivation? What is your motivation? So what I want you to do, again, if you're just jumping on or just watching this, is download the Measure Your Motivation worksheet and complete it. Right? This will help you with the financial piece of of measuring your motivation. And again, I don't know, it is just, I hope I've drilled this into you guys, that it is so important to make sure that you have these personal financial goals, hopes, dreams, aspirations, and you connect them to your business in terms of like, my business hitting these goals funds my trip to Hawaii next year. Hitting these goals in the business, which we will talk about those goals next week. But again, if you are new or you're just joining us, watch last week's training. It's where I introduced the wealth model to you guys, W.E.A.L.T.H. And all of those are a different step. And this is the foundation that we use with our clients to help them transform their business into one that works for them instead of the other way around. So I introduced the wealth model. Today is the W, what's your motivation? Next week, we will evaluate our business goals. And so this week is just about creating or identifying, not creating, it's already there, but identifying what motivates you in your business. Why do you have this business in place? And what is that business supposed to be doing for you? Not the other way around, right? Not the other way around. So financially, what is your motivation? Fill out that measuring your motivation worksheet. That's going to help you a lot. That said, I've had it tested out by a couple people, but if you notice anything, if there's anything glitchy, doesn't work, have any questions, something's not clear, email peakprosperitycfo@gmail.com and let us fix it, because we want it working for you to the best that it can, right? So download it and let us know if there's anything that needs to be fixed. I'm down for your feedback. So download and complete the Measuring Your Motivation worksheet, because next week when we do evaluate our business goals, we're going to circle back around to that. So if you've done this Measuring Your Motivation worksheet already, it's going to help you. If not, no big deal. We'll work around it. But I've noticed that the more you're able to actually do while I'm training, while we're on these calls, the more you get out of it. So download the worksheet, complete the worksheet. Let's see. And just again, key is to connect your personal motivations of your goals, your hopes, your dreams, your aspirations, and outlining those and figuring out what those are so that we can move into the business side of things. Cool. So awesome. I appreciate you guys staying with me today through all the drugs that are in my body. Try to keep me energized with you guys. I'm going to go lay down now. But thank you for joining me. Next week, we'll go into E, evaluating your business goals. So join me for then. Hopefully, I will have another cool freebie for you guys to go with that training. So yeah, I'm excited to share that with you guys too. All right. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I will see you guys next week.